All right, so this module is going to be all about simple tables. So to create a simple table, just type in /table, and then here you'll be able to select the simple table from the basic blocks. You'll see here the second option is a table view, but this is for a database. So you can see here database, and this one is basic blocks. So the main difference between these two is this one is just columns and rows, like you can see here on the preview. It's just columns, rows, and that's it. You can add stuff inside, you can change the stuff around, you can change how it looks, but that's essentially what it is. And then the database has properties, and you can link databases with other databases. You can change the views, add filters and sorts. So obviously with databases, you can do a lot more. You can add formulas, but the simple table is literally just columns and rows. So as you can see here, we got 6 cells, 2 columns and 3 rows. And if you want to add more columns, you just click on this plus. Same with the rows, you can just click here to add more, or you can drag it here in the corner, and then it automatically creates more columns or rows. And you can also drag this to the bottom to create more rows, or drag this one to the side to create more columns. All right, so in this simple table, you can just click wherever you want and just add in information. You can add in numbers, text, and in the simple table, you can also use the @ symbol to tag someone or a date or a page. So I can, for example, tag myself. I can select this page, and I can also tag today. So I can click on this. It will actually open the date menu. I can click on this to take me to the page. I can click on myself. So you can actually like use all the formatting options inside of Notion, like for the normal text, you can use inside of this simple table. You can also highlight, and you can make it bold, underline it, make it italic, change the text color. So you can customize the text inside of the simple table. So normally at the top, you would have your different categories. So you'll have category 1, category 2, and maybe it's like the person's name, their email, their address, or it's other type of information. You would add those as columns or rows, depending on how you would use it. And then if you have something like this, so for example, all the category names at the top, then you can click on this row. So you just click on this, and then you can select header row. So if I toggle this on, then this will now act as a header row. And you can also change the color. So I can maybe make it blue. So yeah, you can change the background. You can also change the text color. So if I make the text color blue, then the text will become blue, just like normally with text blocks. So yeah, you can add the header row. You can change the background. So if you just do gray, that's the default. You can do the same for the columns. So same thing for the columns. This can be maybe like the people's names, and then the other one is their actual information or something. So you can color the columns. If you have the default background, then the normal header row will just be like a light gray, whereas this one also removes the line, as you can see. So yeah, that's how you add the header or column, or the column or row headers. And if you want to move stuff around, so if you want to change the order of the columns or the rows, then you just drag this thing again. I don't really know what you call it, but you just drag this thing, and you can literally just drag it around. So just drag and drop. And I can also do the same for the rows. I can just drag this at the bottom. And yeah, that's how you can organize the columns and rows. Now, what you can also do is, instead of adding a new column and then dragging it here, you can just click on this one and select insert left to add a new one here, or you can insert right. You can also duplicate it. So if I click duplicate, it will copy all the content. So let me just do it with this one. So as you can see, it copies over all the content, and you can also clear the content. So it will delete everything inside, and you can obviously delete the columns as well. And of course, everything I'm doing with the columns, it's the same for the rows. So same thing, insert above, insert below, duplicate, clear content, and to delete. Now, another useful feature is this button. So at the moment, the table is sort of extending over to the right. If we have a full page, like a full width page, then obviously that's fine. But since we want everything inside of a single width page, we can click on this button, and it will fit the content inside of the borders of the single width page. And if we go ahead and delete some of the columns, so let's just delete these 3 columns, then we can click on the button again, and it will do the same thing. It will resize and fit the content according to the borders of the single width page. And next to it, you have this options option where you can untoggle or toggle on the header rows or columns. And then you also have this menu button where you can ask the AI for something. You can delete it, duplicate it. So this is the actual block menu. You can copy the link to the block, turn it into a database, which I'll also show, move it to a separate page, and also comment on the page. Now, if you have like actual information, so let me just create, for example, let's do name, email, and let's create another one, which might be, I don't know, country. And then here it would be the person's name. So let's do John, let's do Sarah. And then this row would be the header row. I'm actually just going to use this one. It's a lot easier. And then you would add in their information. So let's just do john@gmail.com, and let's do America, and let's do Sarah. So Sarah@gmail.com. And in this one, let's just, I don't know, South Africa. And yeah, if you have information inside a simple table, now you can click on the block menu and you can turn it into a database. So now it will automatically turn that information into a database. So as you can see here, we got the name property for the names, an email property with the emails, and also a country property with the country. And I'm not even going to touch on databases now. I just wanted to show that there is an option to just turn it into a database. And you can also do it the other way around. So now we got this database, and let's say we just want to turn it back into a simple table. We can click on the database block menu and click on turn into simple table. And now it will change it back into a simple table. So on the simple table, you can click on a cell and you can hold your mouse and just drag it around if you want to select multiple cells. You can also use the circle in the corner to drag it around, and you can also use your arrow keys. So you can use the arrow keys to move around, and you can hold shift, which will then highlight all of the cells as you move with your arrow keys. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to simple tables. Again, it is quite simple. It's called a simple table for a reason. So yeah, it's just for quickly adding stuff inside like a table view like this without creating a whole database. You can always turn it into a database if you want to, but this is just for like quick information if you just want to get it out. And I'm going to share one extra tip, one bonus tip, which is if you have the AI, then you can ask it to create a simple table comparing, I don't know, apples with oranges. Like this can be whatever you want, but it will then actually create a simple table like this. So you can actually use the AI to just like create a simple table for you. You can have specifics, you can specify what needs to be compared, what you want to compare, and yeah, it will just like go ahead and create a simple table for you. And according to the AI, the taste of apples is tart and the taste of oranges is tangy. Interesting. You learn something new every day. But yeah, I hope you as well learned something new from Notion. Not necessarily the AI's comparison between apples and oranges. But yeah, that's essentially the simple table. And in the next module, we're going to go over links. So files and media, embedding content into Notion, hyperlinks, backlinks, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in the next module.